Birds are singing in the trees, all the leaves are falling in the breeze. The views all around are the best you've seen, living on the land.
And standing beside me is Mr. Eric Bottomley, who is the statewide coordinator of Ceres, which is of course in East Brunswick, and a fine institution it is too. Eric came today to see the vortex turbine operating in real life in situ. And Eric, what did you think when you saw it?
Oh, well, you know, you don't see them every day, do you, these kinds of things? No, it's absolutely brilliant. Blown away with the whole idea. One, that it's a revolutionary kind of concept, using this vortex energy rather than just the sort of mechanical turning of a water wheel or water turbine, and the fact that it's so elegant and simple, the way it works. I mean, there are a lot of alternative technologies that just aren't appropriate because they're too expensive or complicated, but here we've got the possibility of relatively low cost and effective alternative technologies, so we can have a smaller ecological impact on Earth.
Eric, for people that may not fully understand the role that Ceres plays, would you just like to explain how Ceres works, what it does, and how the KCT may fit into this particular framework of education?
Yeah, well, Ceres stands for the Centre for Education and Research in Environmental Strategies. Not that you'll ever remember that again. But we're probably best known for trying to disseminate ideas of how we can relate to living on Earth through education programs and demonstration programs. So we have about 500,000 people visit us in Brunswick, and we work with about 700 schools across Victoria to keep these sort of ideas flowing. So that's probably our most effective role to play, to try and disseminate the ideas of people who are far cleverer than we are, to try and publicise these new opportunities for us.
Tell me, does the KCT excite you? Do you see potential?
Yeah, well, straight away I'm thinking, how can we have a demonstration like this on site at Ceres, so we can put these ideas in front of people? And there are a lot of people come, you know, through Ceres, government people as well as the students and all of the age groups. And so just to keep these ideas in front of people, they'd certainly be excited by the technology.
Do you have a turbine or hydro system at Ceres at the moment?
We don't, and we did look at one stage of could we put one on the Merry Creek, which the logistics problems are quite big because the Merry Creek is so sensitively treated by councils and so on, and you can't interfere with it. But so we couldn't put a hydro kind of thing on the Merry Creek. But this is a much lower impact, so it really fires me up to see who we could go and talk to about being able to do a kind of diversion along the edge of the creek through a system like this, which just discharges water back into the creek with minimum impact.
You were saying earlier that there's also scope for putting a simulated system on the property itself.
Oh yes, definitely. We have an energy park at Ceres with about 100, 200 solar panels and wind generators and that kind of thing. And this would be a coup for us to be able to demonstrate a smaller version of what you've created here, Paul.
We have an opportunity to look at the Powhatan tar race in Tasmania, which is near Launceston. And that tar race is very similar to a canal, an irrigation canal, in that it runs the water from the power station, which has been used to create electricity, towards a lake, which then ultimately goes to the Brumby River and then goes out to the sea. And this canal is similar to the irrigation canal, man-made, has a number of drops in it, which can accommodate the KCT because it doesn't need, as I've explained, very much fall at all to work. It only needs enough fall to create a vortex. So I'll pull out the paddle and see what happens. So the vortex is about to take hold. You can see the thing's already changing its dynamics. Right? And once the vortex forms, it becomes a very powerful energy system. Beside me is Mr. Rowan Searle. Rowan is the first exclusive licensee for this turbine system. He's the licensee for Australia, and it's his responsibility to make, use and sell, to commercialise it firstly in Australia and hopefully outside of Australia in one of the other 17 countries where we have patents. And I'll now turn to Rowan and ask Rowan what he thought about what he's just seen and what his plans are for the future. Rowan, you've had a look at the system out there. It operates on spinning water. What can you say?
Well, the idea really fascinates me, Paul, and I first came across it maybe 6 months ago when was it 6 months ago?
About 6 months ago.
Yeah, we originally started talking, and I love the concept that we could actually leave a legacy in producing renewable energy, or producing power out of the fall of water, or out of the run of the river of water, and I thought it was a great idea, a great concept, and it was something that I could work with. That seemed like there wasn't a lot of changes need to be made once the fine tuning it was done, and it was a perfect opportunity for us to go into production with something that was fairly simple in its idea, fairly simple in its design, but yet brilliant in its concept. So we love the idea, we love the chance of being able to work with yourself and with all the work you've done in the past, and there's a lot of R&D being put into this design, and we feel that with our manufacturing capabilities, that we can produce these units in different sizes, and we can commercialise these type of units all over the world. This system would be ideal in the remotest place in any part of the world. We could be where we're standing today. We could be in any part of the world. Now, this system doesn't necessarily need to be hooked into a grid system. It can operate through DC. It can operate through a battery system straight to a house, a farm, through an irrigation channel to the most remotest area, and can produce the amount of power that people need, and what power they don't need they can on-sell through to the electricity suppliers. So to me, it's a brilliant idea. It's a simple idea. It's easy to do, easy to build, and we can package it up in turnkey type systems and sell it around the world. And I think with what Paul's done and what Paul's created, our job's made a hell of a lot easier, that's for sure.
Oh, and it's so refreshing to have somebody prepared to roll up their sleeves and actually do the work and actually make it. Would you just like to tell everyone what your manufacturing experience and background is, and what makes you so confident that you can actually do what we all want you to do?
Well, traditionally, Paul, what we've been involved in as a company, we are a technology company, and we have been involved in the building of robotic type units, as well as various types of manufacturing, both in small and large volume, and the implementation of something like this into a strategy where we can make these under license, or we can make these ourselves and on-sell it to another licensee is very real. Now, my background's engineering, and my background's always been the manufacture of special purpose equipment. Now, what I've found with the manufacturing of special purpose equipment, it requires a lot of new technology with every application that we're involved in. So with that new technology, there's a lot of R&D that goes into every job. Once we've completed our R&D, and once we fine-tune this system and improve on all the efficiencies and the generating system that we use to capture the power, capture the energy, this system will be a very, very commercial opportunity for a lot of people, as I say, whether it be your local waterways, whether it be your remotest farmers, whether it be any type of people that need power. And for the better of the world, we really feel like we can leave a legacy here that from the natural flow of water, from the smallest drop of 600 mil, we can create a vortex, and within that vortex we can create power, and we can generate that power and use that power as a very, very clean source of energy. And it's got to be a lot better than what we're using at this point in time. So we believe the future is in renewable energy and clean energy, and this is where Paul and I will be working together to sell our story to the world. And I'll guarantee you one thing: if it's not successful, it won't be from lack of trying. We'll be putting every effort into making this successful, and we can't see any reason why we won't be successful.
The important thing is that unlike a conventional hydro scheme or a conventional hydro turbine, which is very difficult, very complicated, and requires quite a lot of infrastructure, as you'll see from this diagram, at least in a waterway, it can be transportable. We say it can be made out of pressed steel, and it's really a glorified rain tank, transported, put into position, attached to the infrastructure, have your inlet points, your outlet points, your turbine inside the vortex, which is created naturally. Out of the tank is the generator where the shaft enters to create the electricity. It really is very simple. And it's the simplicity, of course, that makes it so attractive. And this system, far from lending itself to the obsolescence of hydro, breathes new life into hydro. Hydro has not run its race. Hydro is there to be harnessed, and it's the purest form of electricity that humanity, I think, has ever conceived. And what I want to do, and what my vision is, to breathe new life into hydro and make it possible for those 1.6 billion people on this planet that have never seen electricity to access it in a natural, clean, green way without damaging our environment. What you're now looking at is the back of my brochure. It contains the vortex from Marysville that we talked about earlier, but also a quote from Thomas Edison that I'm very, very fond of. Nothing is stronger than an idea whose time has come. And it really is hard for me to imagine a more timely opportunity for the KCT than right now. And let's hope the message rings loud and clear to the people that it's being directed towards. This is my vision. Thank you.